Yeah, good intent then from Marcus Stoinis. Bit of an inside edge. I think this pitch has just slowed up a bit as the innings has unfolded, so it hasn't been as easy as we all thought to hit boundaries. And India have bowled pretty well. But I guess Australia have pretty much got all bases covered. It's going to be a good squad, whatever they got. I think they're going to be very competitive. Good spin options with Zampa and Agar, and good pace bowlers. Some guys coming back from injuries, a bit of a question mark.
And another boundary. And I think he'd be happier with this one, because it was very crisply struck, just enough room to the right of Shubman Gill in the covers.
Well, simply said, short of the innings for me. Nothing wrong with the ball. There's no width. It's not too short. This is what Stoinis has. This sort of unexpected.
He's got power. He's got power. That's what he's got. And he's up against medium pace. Thakur is bowling medium pace. It's there to be hit, isn't it? It's not Bumrah or Shami, that extra yard of pace. This is a real opportunity to cash in right now for Australia.
And they've gone hard at his first over. 12 came off it. 8 to go. 204 for 5, Australia.
Yeah, very lucky to have somebody like Mark Waugh with us, over 100 Test matches, selector as well for Australia, has followed Australian cricket very closely. Talking about Australian plans and the boxes getting ticked, the term that has been commonly used for all the matches before the World Cup. Mitchell Marsh opening for Australia. You like him at that position?
Well, I mean, it's a loss that Travis Head's not there. There's no doubt about that, because he's been Australia's most prolific batsman in all forms of cricket, not T20s, but Test matches and 50 overs the last 12 months. So he's a loss, definitely, and it looks like he's going to be, at best, only competing in the back end of the tournament. So that's upset the plans a little bit. But, I mean, there's options to open with either Mitch Marsh, even Cameron Green. He's a guy that, could open the batting. I feel like he's better with pace on the ball, so he's another option for Australia.
And if they do open, both Cameron Green and Mitchell Marsh, you expect them to play normally or take the bowling on a little bit?
I think Mitch Marsh will definitely take the bowling on. Cameron Green, probably not so much, but chipped away. Just need to hit that little softy. Might get 2 on the onside, but I think Mitchell Marsh's natural game is to go after bowling, but you've still got to have the right balance. You can't be reckless. You can be aggressive without being reckless, so you've got to get the right balance. But he's an option. I think Steve Smith at 3. I think he's still playing well enough to have a really big input.
My first instinct when I saw Travis Head was gone was someone who bats number 3 in Test cricket would enjoy having just 2 fielders outside, and I thought, why not Labuschagne? If he's got to be in the side, you've got enough power hitters through the middle with Maxwell and Marsh maybe at 3 and Steve Smith controlling at 4. That's a good shot. It's a lovely shot. Just beats the fielder for 4. So Australia would have realized these are the overs in which they can get a move on. The 5 of Shardul and Jadeja. They've got 7 of this one with 12 from Shardul. So putting the foot on the pedal.
That's a beautiful shot. We saw Marcus Stoinis play a lovely cover drive. That's off the back foot, so not easy to get power through that region, but beautifully struck, and the perfect placement. Just past the man on the right at short cover and to the left of the man in the deep.
Did well not to go too far right of the man at cover. That would have made it easier for the man in the deep.
So that shot there, that's twice in this over. So if you're playing on bigger grounds and you've got experience, you're just hitting that past the circle and you'll get 2 every time. You hit it hard like that, you just get 1. It's something, it's just a little thing, but it's important.
Pretty good timing on that too. Was well wide of the man there. Take two quite easily. Biggish boundaries. Can they get a third? Yeah, I don't think they were alive to it. 10 off it. 2-1-4 for 5 with 7 to play.
Look who's cheap now. You are, and millions more just like you with cheapoair.com. When you spend less booking your flight, you're free to do more, see more, and live more.
cheapoair.com.
Go ahead, be cheap.
When these business owners need cash fast, they turn to Biz2 Credit. From new equipment to funds to expand, Biz2 Credit is the place to get your small business funding. Get approved in as fast as 24 hours. Go to biz2credit.com/fastcash. Biz2 Credit. Funding what's next.
Well, let's take a look at this then. 7 overs to go. Australia would want 70-80 runs, I think, in these last 7 overs. Anything you've seen here to suggest that 270 could be a good enough score? It's not an easy ground to defend.
Look, I think 300 would be the sort of target you'd be looking at batting first, but the pitches, it's just held a little bit at times. Some of the spinners, Jadeja's got the ball a hold a bit, and we've seen the ball grip for the seamers a couple of times. The locals are saying, and that includes Sanjay next to me here, that the pitch gets better to bat on once the lights are on. So if you take that into account, you know, Australia are probably 20 or 30 short of where they want to be at the moment.
Another thing to look forward to this World Cup is obviously the iconic players. We've got Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, Steve Smith for Australia. Can they take the World